Welcome to Rewind the Podcast. What up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Rewind the Podcast.
If you can see Raven's hole, you need a job. Did we get it out of the way right away?
That's not what I wanted.
Oh, okay.
That's not what I wanted.
What I meant to say was, hi!
And welcome to all of our new followers who also happen to be in the stage crew.
In the stage crew. Stage crew, hello. We made a little video for Mr. Kev on stage because I missed him when we were in Nashville, and he responded, hello, thank you for the love, and followed us.
I know.
And now we have all these beautiful new followers, and just to let you know, we are also stage crew.
We are stage
Raven would have
crew.
her shirt, but it's dirty and in the laundry.
That's not true.
Now.
I would have a shirt, but Blake didn't buy me one.
Because she didn't respond to our text. No, we already did it.
No.
Let's
talk about it. Let's talk about it because some people knew they weren't here yet.
Why do you have a party girl voice?
Because I partied. I've been a stage crew member for years upon years. Mm-hmm. I introduced Blake to Kev on stage, and then he joined the stage crew. When the Friend of the Pod shirts came out, I was like, we should get Friend of the Pod shirts because, we're huge fans. Mm-hmm. Blake got himself a shirt and didn't get me one.
Okay, and if you have been watching this show for longer than 3 episodes, you'll know that this is a true story. I asked Raven, she was like, I don't really know if I want to do all that.
That is
and
not
so
true.
I got mine,
That's
and
not true.
she made it sound like she was going to get her own.
That's not true.
So I showed up with my shirt because she wanted the black one. Mm-hmm. And then when I showed up with the shirt and she did not, and after they already sold out, good for you, Kev, on stage, someone was mad at me. An emergency on your behalf does not benefit emergency. That's not how
Whatever,
it
exactly. You're doing it wrong. And that's why I shouldn't even told you about Kev on stage. That's why you wouldn't even know about him if it wasn't for me. Anyway, moving on along.
Anyways, whatever. Hello.
We're
so happy you're here.
That's what I was going to say.
Oh.
Hello, we're so happy.
So happy you're here.
Blake, do not piss me off. We're really happy you're here.
Now, with that being said, we're going to go low.
We are going to go low.
We're going to start low. Don't worry, we're going to end high. We're
gonna pick it up.
We're going to pick it up. But we're going to start low. If you are in LA right now, we see you. We are here with you in spirit. Mm-hmm. We know that is tough. What we're specifically talking about is the ICE raids and the things going on right now. National Guard getting called in for no reason.
And the thing is, because we live here in Nashville, as a lot of you know, and we had a huge ICE raids for weeks. I said the last 3 or 4 weeks. Mm-hmm. A lot of our friends are here on work visas or are immigrant, whatever. And, one thing that we've done that I think is helpful that I would say would be helpful to do in your friend group is make sure you have an action plan for those friends that you know that are at risk of being detained or being harassed at this point by ICE. Make sure you know who their immigration attorney is and who whatever the situation is, and have an action plan in place so that you can support them. And if you're a person who is, concerned about your status, make sure that the people in your life understand, what to do in the worst case scenario. Yeah,
because I want to just pinpoint this real quick, because if for any reason we have somebody out there watching and they're like, well, you shouldn't have come in illegal. You need to know what's going on. Yeah. Because this isn't just people who are sneaking in under the radar. This is people who have been trying to become citizens for years. People who are citizens. Mm-hmm.
And also the part that I have the biggest issue with is the guys that this was... Originally, we're trying to get rid of criminals, drug people, whatever. And this has turned into going into people's schools, hospitals, workplaces, and literally dragging people off of the street.
Snatching people while they're on a work break.
Exactly. And it was so disingenuous from the beginning, and I think we all knew that. But now we're really seeing their true colors. And I think, at this point, we all have to collectively as Americans stand up and say, we don't want to live through Nazi Germany. This is not what we want to do. But our thoughts and prayers and hearts are with everybody affected, and just know we're with everybody in LA. And if you need anything from us, if there's anything we can do to help, feel free to reach out.
And if I may, I'm just going to throw this graphic up here. If you are raided by ICE, these are know your rights. There you are. Here you go. We're here for you.
We are here for you.
Now, we're going to say low, but this is...
Petty love?
This is a little funny. The girls are fighting.
Okay.
Happy Pride, Trump and Elon.
I will say, people are getting offended by the girls are fighting.
Who, Christina Ricci?
A lot of people. I've seen a lot of social media discourse saying that we should not be comparing this type of behavior to girls.
Got it. Okay. May I?
Yeah.
Okay. This is where your feminism is like fake because the girls are fighting comes from memes. It comes from a lyric. It is a part of maybe communities that you are not a part of. So if you don't understand it and you suddenly want to be like, this doesn't have anything to do with girls, respectfully, sit down.
Blake's views are his own.
Blake's views are my own. And to quote Raven, I'll add more to it before I take it back because you're going to get up there and you're going to talk about something you know nothing about. It's an inside joke between people who are chronically online. We're not actually comparing it to girls. With that being said.
Do I get to have an opinion?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
I'm just asking if that's where you want to end it at. I do think that as a woman who was a girl once before, I get the connotation. I get why people feel some type of way about it. It's kind of like the like you run like a girl, like you do this like a girl, like that kind of connotation. You know what I mean? So I do get the frustration behind it, but I also feel like it's masking over the actual issue, which is that a billionaire got in bed with a political candidate and completely threw off our election. And I think both things can be true.
I mean, I love that how like nice and wise you try to put that, but I think it's still at the end of the day, it's an inside joke and you need to get over it.
That's okay.
But yeah, I think it's really stupid. I think that Elon thinking he was MAGA's a cult. Mm-hmm. So the fact that you think you were going to get in there and get like buddy with somebody who likes to be the leader, it was not going to go well for you. We knew that from the beginning. And there's allegedly all this stuff about buying votes, this whole thing in Wisconsin, the Doge thing, we're going to buy up stuff, all that kind of crap. And as soon as he said, I actually, from what we've heard, I actually have some beef with this big Trump bill or whatever it was called, he was the first one to go. We saw that from the first administration. If you disagree with him at all, you are out.
Yeah.
Suckers get licked.
Listen, I think
Tootsie Pop.
This is also a good example of like the radicalization that can happen online when you're starting to like go into these really fringe MAGA organizations, like especially online. Elon Musk said he voted for Hillary Clinton in 2016 and voted for Joe Biden in 2020. You can track his social media, basically his radicalization through his own Twitter. And I think that like it's a good example of like even the most powerful, successful people can still be so brainwashed by the MAGA agenda and can really fall into it. That's one hand. On the other hand, realistically, he wanted to be in bed with Trump because he wanted it to benefit him. And it did benefit him for a long time. I think that now that they were saying that this new bill directly affects energy and using those cars called?
The Teslas.
No, what's they called? Electric.
Oh.
Teslas. The electric cars.
Say hi to producer Gabe.
that is where the beef has really set in. And I think the most like salacious part of it was him being Elon calling out President Trump for being in the Epstein files. That tweet has now been deleted.
It deleted off the internet, never in our hearts. But also the people who read it, who were never for this in the beginning, they were like, this just saying water is wet. Yeah,
but the thing is that a lot of conservatives tried to make it a very liberal thing. Like the Epstein files, like all
Beyonce, not Kirstie Alley. John Legend's wife.
Chrissy Teigen.
Kirstie Teigen. I was like, nope, that's not it.
So like they tried to make it a liberal thing, and like for him to kind of spill that tea a little bit, piping hot. I do think it's a waste of time. It's a distraction amongst so many other distractions.
What's going on in LA?
Like there's just so much going on. And as much as like I also love the tea and love the giggles and love the goss, it just feels like we got bigger fish to fry than them two beefing on the internet.
No, that's my thing. Because the day it started, the memes and everything that came out, I was sitting there giggling. I was like, hee, this is funny. Look at this, look at that. And then the day after, I took almost the route of like, it always feels like a setup.
Yeah, is this even real?
Is this even real? In 3 months, are they going to be back in each other's good graces? Is someone going to say sorry? You know, is Trump going to miss the kids, a.k.a. Elon's son? You're not the boss. But I don't know. But I go back to what you said before with the very first thing when you were like, how do you get radicalized? Because, I mean, like, Facebook for a while was doing the fact-checking and all this
100%.
stuff. And then right before the election, it seemed like every billionaire who was probably going to get some kind of tax cut, allegedly, is out here being like, well, we just want to support the administration.
Exactly.
And you're kind of seeing it trickle down, even through corporations. Like, corporations aren't supporting Pride or DEI or anything
Target
like that.
is the biggest example of, like, from a product standpoint, the hard turn, which is why so many of us, Black people in particular, have been boycotting Target. But listen, I hope Elon takes it even further.
And does what? Like,
that's who's in this beef. I'm on Elon.
Oh, yeah. Whose side are you on?
I'm on Elon's side.
Okay.
I can't stand Trump more than I can't stand Elon at this point. And I feel like the Democrats will never take him in. But he has threatened to fund several Democratic, several Democratic nominees coming up. So we will see. Donald Trump said that if you do that, basically I will seek revenge, which feels illegal to me, but I don't know.
It feels a little illegal. A lot of people are saying, if he starts to cough in 3 days, you know who to talk to.
Oh, Lord. Not him poisoning him. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll keep y'all abreast.
Abreast?
Did you say abreast?
That's because I said we'll keep everyone abreast.
Okay.
Well, moving on along.
Let's get gay. I want to talk about the TONYS.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I want to talk about the TONYS. Did you watch? Let's get gay. Who's ever been? No. Okay.
I was like, wait, what?
I was going to say something nasty, but we're not going to do all that.
Yeah.
New followers. So I do want to talk about the TONYS. Did you watch the TONYS? Comment below because I want to know what your favorite moment of the TONYS was. Mine specifically was Audra McDonald getting up there and wiping the floor with her ass in a respectful way and showing people why you do not speak against her.
100,000.
That was fierce. Did you catch the TONYS? Did you keep up?
I really kept up.
Okay, you really kept up.
I did.
I had to watch them today because I was at class last night.
Yes.
But first of all, I want to talk about Cynthia.
Okay.
Host extraordinaire.
The opening was so epic. Her voice carried through the rafters. She looked stunning. The thing with Cynthia that I think is so cool is she is this tiny lady.
This bottle could go against her.
Literally, but stands with so much power and is so confident. And you can just like see that she's in her element. I loved them going out into the audience. Adam Lambert! Listen, I will die on this hill. Adam Lambert's first album was one of the best albums. It's in my top 10, top 15 for sure.
All the songs.
Every no skip.
Because, he had the one he did on the AMAs where he's like, with the dude and everybody got him.
Yeah, I love that
song. First of all, catchy song, but then, what do you want from me?
That album was on repeat. I wore that album out. So seeing him there, his voice sounded great.
His glitter in his hair.
He looked great. It was just so good to see him.
It was. And then she stuck that mic into Kristen Chenoweth and Aaron Tvei's face. And I was like, everybody is ready to go at the TONYS.
Yeah, and it was so much fun.
Yeah.
But I just adore Cynthia. She does no wrong in my eyes.
She doesn't.
And I know some people have different opinions, and that's okay. She does no wrong in my eyes.
In your eyes.
Her comforting Sarah Bareilles during the in memoriam, or in memoriam as you like to call it.
In memoriam.
Was so sweet. She's just so passionate. I adore her.
She's also so funny. Her delivery of the jokes were great.
It was almost like there was a lot of them she did just like deadpan too, but it was like you either get the joke or you don't.
And her accent, it was just perfect, and I love her. My favorite moment was the Hamilton 10-year reboot.
Yes.
First of all, creatively, visually, I was like, how are we going to do this in a way that feels cool and not corny, but also not. It was perfect. Everyone was so good. Leslie Odom Jr.
Who's coming back.
I can't
for a little bit.
It is just unimaginable how fan-freaking-tastic he is. I'm glad they did a medley and didn't do just one song. The composition of it was perfect.
Well, how do you do just one song if the whole company's there?
Exactly. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Also, I did not realize that Anthony Ramos was even there.
Okay, that's what I want to talk about because Chronically Online, hello. I want to talk about people are like it almost felt like what like not deviant, what's the word? Like intentional.
It did.
Because apparently the tea allegedly is that he was in a relationship with somebody in Hamilton and then they cheated.
Not somebody in Hamilton.
Oh, lady. I don't know her name.
It is
it like Maria?
Cephas Jones.
Oh, see.
Jasmine Cephas Jones is her name.
And that's why I don't try to guess the name.
And
yes. He cheated.
Well, okay, this is what I don't know.
Yeah.
And this is why it's allegedly.
Yeah, because we're not Perez.
No, they were in a relationship for sure. Their relationship fell apart for sure. There were cheating allegations for sure. But when I was in the comments last night, everybody was like, well, they proved he wasn't actually cheating. Mm-hmm. So I really don't know. But what I do know is they acted like he was not in the Hamilton cast.
Yeah, as Hamilton took sides.
Because I had to watch it again and be like, wait, where is he? He did not have a part. Mm-hmm. But also, when him and George Washington are passing each other and they like interact, the camera pans out. Mm-hmm. So like you literally would not know he was there if you weren't looking for him. No. And I don't know if that was intentional, but it was given kind of shady.
It was given, it was like cameraman said, I got y'all or something
for
like that.
For sure.
Every time you talk about George Washington, it reminds me of the time you saw him here.
And he was so great. But he was a little gay George Washington. Come out, troops.
you said.
Let's go. I was like, George, get a little bass in your voice.
Hey, I just remember you said he was like, Alexander Gauff. And you were like, okay, queen. Yes, I love that. If you played Alexander Hamilton on the Hamilton Broadway tour, you did phenomenal, but you were a little gay.
No, it was very fierce. Vocally was fantastic.
Emphasis on fierce.
Fierce, baby. Alexander, go home.
Yes.
Sashay away. He might as well have said.
Hamilton, Shantae, you stay.
But it was really, yeah. I am in love with
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
No shade to Lin.
Who's going to be playing Dorothy in Wicked?
The man who plays Hercules Mulligan.
Oh, yeah. I don't know his name.
And it's hard to pronounce. In Hamilton.
Mr. Mulligan.
But they call him something. Like, they call him a nickname, but I just can't remember what it is.
Okie.
It'll say it for you if you click on it.
We are looking at how to pronounce the name of American actor known in particular for originating the roles of Hercules Mulligan and James Madison in the 2015 musical Hamilton. We are looking at how to pronounce Okieriete.
Respectfully. Just look it up on TikTok.
My nigga, the person who played Hercules Mulligan, I don't know that man name.
I'm leaving all of that in.
I'm so sorry. They call him something. He got a nickname, but I respectfully, with so much respect.
Mr. Mulligan.
I'm not about to put your name on the internet.
No.
Because that might be my last name soon.
If we can say Shark.
I'll learn how to say it later. I am obsessed with that. Is like my type 2 AT. Mm-hmm. Like chocolatey, big. I want to say he went to an Ivy League.
Like Carnegie Mellon, Harvard, Yale.
He is fine.
He does look like your type. Throw it up. Creating more work for myself.
But when he came out, I was like, ah!
You said hello.
Like I was at home, like screaming. But yes, that was my number one moment of the night.
Mm-hmm. I do want to talk about this. So we saw Sunset Boulevard, and we've already given our review on Blake and Raven be doing stuff. We were like, it was Nicole. We felt was so fierce. She won last night.
She did win,
and apparently it was not to like. What's the word when it's like everybody together?
It wasn't unanimous.
It wasn't unanimous raving.
I will say her performance to me was stellar.
Last night?
Last night.
Yeah.
I thought she was...
Especially sped up.
Yeah, it was like she was in the moment. She was super passionate. Her voice was really great. I don't have an issue with her winning that. Mm-hmm. I think with the level of like buzz around that show and how great she was in it, I don't think it was a bad call, personally.
Well, the thing is we went in blind to Sunset Boulevard, and we had no idea what was going on. And through the storytelling of the second act, we were able to get the full story and the we were able to I almost feel like we could say we were able to catch up on the emotions of everything
100%.
in the story. But apparently the just backstory too, is a lot of people have beef with her for the thing with Katy Perry's ex-husband, Russell Brand.
Russell Brand. Russell Crowe.
The
What'd he
hat
do?
thing. So he posted a hat. He posted a hat right after Trump was elected that said, "Make Jesus great again," because everybody thinks he's gotten in love with Jesus now because of the sexual allegations.
Okay.
And she commented on his Instagram and said, "OMG, love, where can I get that hat?" Well, it's made like "Make America Great Again."
Okay.
So people are like, she's not on our side. She's against us, blah, blah, blah. She made a statement. They're like, how are you going to be somewhere that supports the trans community, the gay community, all these communities, and say something like that? She was like, I was more about the Jesus part. But then there's been some stuff allegedly that's come out that said she has voted for Trump and she supports him and things like that. So people are kind of...
What has she said?
Just the statement as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, well, then
so is it, can you only believe what the person will tell you?
I believe so, because how the hell else we going to get a voter registration card? What else we going to do? You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like, girl, also... Damn, the lady just won. If y'all had, where was this beef 3 weeks ago when everybody was talking about her?
Yeah.
Like, okay, like now, girl, she won. That's it.
The big beef, like the big shady moment I saw was Cole Escola from O'Mary. They were getting interviewed and the press stopped them and they looked to see who won, and it was Nicole. And they looked at the mic and said, 4 more years, and it kind of egged it on. And so I was like, woo. So theater's gonna theater.
But my thing too is like, maybe that person knows Nicole personally and knows something we don't know. It's just like, it's just a little tacky.
We're fighting enough.
Like, let the lady win her award and go on. Mm-hmm. I just feel like it's not.
We say that as people who, when Cynthia did not win, we were like, down with Hollywood.
I just feel like it's like, okay. It doesn't, and this may be an unpopular opinion, it does not change her performance in Sunset Boulevard. In my personal, and that is what the award was for. Mm-hmm. I don't think she was getting like a lifetime achievement humanitarian. I think it was for Sunset Boulevard, and Feel How You Feel. Congratulations to Nicole. As a person who saw her in the show, I thought she was phenomenal. Mm-hmm. May God bless her and keep her. I don't know.
Yeah, the last thing I want to say about the Tonys is a compliment to you. I saw an interview with Kristen Chenoweth. There was a lady she was being interviewed by E.T. And the lady was talking to her. She had asked, she was like, oh, are you going to make another cameo on Wicked for Good? And, Kristen was like, I don't know, no, it's their moment, blah, blah, blah. We did it in our first one, where it's like, I don't know. But then the lady was like, we would love to see you and Indina back on Broadway someday. And even me, in my head, I was like, Indina just finished a show. Mm-hmm. It wrapped because it didn't get nominated for Tonys. Mm-hmm. And Kristen's about to be in a Broadway show in the fall. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, I wish Raven was up there because she'd be knowing her stuff. No shade to that lady. But I was like, I would love to watch you interview somebody on a red carpet because you be knowing.
And I also would have been like, she would have walked off of me. Girl, you gonna be in a movie, yes or no?
Oh, so you're gonna go, I'm giving you a compliment, and you're gonna go investigative journalism. Were you in it or not?
Are you in it or no? Blink twice if he was in it.
Breathe. Oh, confirmation. No, you would have been like this. You would have been like, it's so nice to see you, Kristen. Are you gonna be in the movie? What's John Chu's number? Me and Blake are trying to go to the premiere. What is John Chu's number?
Literally. But yeah, no, I would love to see them together again. Even if it was for like a 3-week run or something.
In Wicked or just in something?
Anything.
Mm-hmm. I feel that. Well, that was the tone.
Wait, I have something else to say, I think. Okay, yeah. Also, the closing number.
Hilarious,
but also vocally perfection.
Slang, yes.
She needs to host every Tonys Awards from now until the end of time.
I like it. And I think the thing is there was a professionalism without it being like too silly.
It wasn't too, because she's not giving like dun 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 energy. And I don't, as you know, I don't think that stuff is funny.
Yeah.
Which is why I really like Trevor Noah.
Yeah.
I feel like he toes the line of like, okay, we're here to have a good time, but we're all like, I'm not going to be a cornball.
Yeah.
But also, her looks from beginning to end were gorgeous. She is such a light of the world.
Mm-hmm. I also think I want to agree with you on the hosting thing because as much as I do, and we all know, as I love the little skits, the little bits and corny, respectfully, when they're like, it's going to be hosted by Jimmy Kimmel or Conan O'Brien. They already said Conan O'Brien's hosting the Oscars next year. I was like, oh.
And I love Jim and Cone.
Jim and Cone.
Enough.
Jim and Cone.
Like, I really do. I think they're lovely. It's just like, it was so fun. And I don't be watching the Tonys like that, respectfully. It was so fresh to see someone else.
You know who I liked who hosted that girl who hosted the Emmys, who loves Taylor Swift?
Nikki Glacier.
Nikki Glacier. I almost called her Emily. I don't know why.
Yeah, she's great too.
She was
I like
fun.
her a lot.
So hire women hire women.
Yeah.
See, I'm not an anti-feminist.
You know who is?
Who?
Miss Sabalenka.
Exactly.
Got her ass beat not once, but twice by Miss Coco Gauff.
Oh.
Coco Gauff won the French Open. She is the first American in a decade.
You go, Coco.
Woo! Okay, so she played her ass off.
We are going cuckoo for Coco. I got a million of them.
Do you have any more? Because I'm about to start talking. So
Yes.
now's your time. Too late.
Yo, Coco. You made me nervous.
Okay. So she played her ass off. She had very limited errors. It was a wonderful match. Sablanka, I am so sorry. Respectfully, I don't know how to pronounce her name.
Maybe not respectfully.
But instead of just being like, I didn't play my best, I had a lot of errors, I wasn't prepared, she was on some and was like, well, she didn't win because she's better than me or because she played really well. She won because I had so many errors, and it was just like basically a fluke. Bitch, she already beat you before.
That's what I was going to say. In that press conference, she said, well, I've already won, so...
And my thing with Coco, she handles press so beautifully. Her responses were spot on. She is so mature to be a 21-year-old young woman. And my thing is, like, you learn that in, like, third grade, to not be a sore loser, congratulate the people who won, and move the on.
But this is my thing, too, is I remember from the Serena Williams movie with Will Smith in it, the one about the dad, Mr. Williams, the movie. What's the name of the movie?
King Richard.
Okay, that one. And I don't know if they were the same, like Russian as. I don't know if that person who played against the Williams sister. Oh my God, I am screwed.
You are struggling.
It was Venus, the one who played against
Girl,
Venus.
just say the part. What you
No,
gonna
I'm
say?
trying to get it right. The girl who wins against
Fool me. Go ahead.
the person who wins against Venus, were they also Russian?
I don't know.
But I remember they were giving them the runaround too and trying to make them, and they do all this stuff until they lose, and then they immediately go from offense to defense, and they're like, well, they didn't beat me because this, and this. Bitch, you lost.
And I think, too, with tennis, the racial component of it all. Also, that lady had, like, I think home court advantage in that situation. But I can't remember if it was that match or the match before. But there is a racial undertone.
Yes.
Serena has talked about it for decades. Venus has shared her experience. Naomi Osaka has also shared her experience. And
now
I feel
Coco.
Exactly. And now Coco. And it's like, just congratulate her and move on.
Because like you say, not everybody's going to tell the same lie.
She didn't beat. Just say you got your ass beat.
But if you literally have to say in an interview, well, she didn't win because I did this, and this wrong, that's why she won. Because you didn't do a good job, and she beat you.
And it's sometimes...
Yeah, what's with all the errors?
Because I think, and I don't know this woman at all, respectfully.
I do.
And I don't know if she has a racial issue. But I will say, it's giving, like we've talked about before, like the internal, like unbiased, unconscious bias.
There you go.
Of like, how dare you be
better than me.
And fact of the matter is that she just is.
She just is. Come back. Work a little harder. Drink a little more Powerade. Sponsored by Powerade. Come back and win. We're not sponsored by Powerade. That hoe probably is.
Yeah.
So.
But congratulations to Coco. We are
Coco.
so proud of you. And so
show, Coco. There we go.
So excited to see you win many more Grand Slams.
I did want to talk to you about this before we transition. You know how you say when black people aren't necessarily going with the collective, all skin folk, ain't kin folk? We need one of those for gay people. Yeah.
I'll think about it.
Anyways.
I don't know what straw is.
Straw the movie.
Oh,
y'all.
Taraji P.
Okay. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. I am not playing with y'all. We are about to talk about Straw. I'm about to ruin the ending. I am about to ruin it for everybody involved.
Even us?
Even y'all.
Damn.
So just skip forward if you ain't seen it. But I'm sorry, this is about the black girls in this moment because we got to talk about it.
Okay, well, can I just say
Who's talking about it? Just you?
We, collective.
We didn't get to see it.
I'm going to tell y'all what the hell happened. Now, how many times y'all done sat y'all asses in this seat and told me about some scary demon movie I didn't seen? And I had to
That
listen.
was a choice. We didn't know we were supposed to watch this.
I wanted to watch it, but I guess it's
Too
gonna get
late.
Thanos snaps his fingers. Spoiled.
Okay. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. We are talking about the
Spoiled.
ending of Straw. Y'all, I have so much to say.
We'll make it quick.
Oh, it ain't going to be. So
What's it about?
that's what I'm about to tell you. If you would shut the hell up. So
Raven didn't get a lot of sleep last night.
the movie opens with Taraji carrying her child out of the hospital. It feels very like dream-like state. She wakes up from an alarm clock and her day begins. The movie essentially is about a single mother who basically low-key has like the worst day ever.
Single mom who works too hard.
Yeah, like it's like very devastating and sad. Her child has an autoimmune disease and is very sick. She works 2 jobs. She, she gets laid off. She gets off-duty cop runs into her car, gets her car towed. CPS calls the school calls CPS to have the child picked up because they say she comes to school dirty and not fed. And it is this
Taraji P in the no good, very bad day.
correct.
Okay.
And it is this just heart-breaking, aching struggle of a black single mother with no support, no one to help her, and she is just trying to make it through her day. Then flips like all of a sudden. There's a robbery where she works. She ends up shooting her boss.
Like dead?
Dead. She gets her check because the whole thing is she needs to get money from the bank to pay for her child's medicine. Mm-hmm. She goes in, she's trying to get like $512 to get her check cashed. They're like, you need to have an ID. She's like, y'all know me. I don't have my ID. I'm having this terrible day. Y'all know me. Please just cash my check. And they're like, we can't cash your check. And she's like, yeah, it's this back and forth, back and forth. She pulls the gun out of her bag and is like, just cash my check. The lady called the police. The police come. Now we robbing the bank.
Work.
We rob on accident. We're accidentally robbing the bank because it was never her intention to rob. She just wanted her check cashed. Mm-hmm. She wanted her $512 and she wanted to get the hell on. The lady starts giving her all of this money and she's like, I don't need this. I just want my check cash. That's all I want. That enters in Sherry Shepherd's character who works at the bank. Girl, long story short, the FBI come, everybody up in there. She's on the phone with her mother. And she is like, talk to the lady. Like, she'll tell you I wasn't robbing the bank. I wasn't robbing the bank. Like, this is all. I just needed to get my baby's medicine. I mean, having a full breakdown. And her mother on the other end of the phone goes, baby, she died. Talking about the child. We took her to the hospital last night and she died. You go back to the beginning of the movie. Everything you've seen has been her hallucinations from grief. The child had died in the hospital. The movie is essentially about mental health and grief, not about poverty.
Dang.
And she's going through her day and you start seeing the Easter eggs throughout the movie of where this child was not actually present all day long, but she was literally having psychosis.
Yeah.
Hallucinating.
this. So you said it's not based on poverty. Is she actually poor?
She is actually poor.
Okay. Not in a rude way. I just didn't know. Like, I didn't know, like, if in her psychosis she was like, because it's like I lost everything.
No,
like the child,
she actually I think was.
Okay.
But she did. That is the like. That's a good little weave you just did. So then, in the film at the end, the FBI comes in, raids the place, and kills her. Well, then it flips again, and she's standing there with Sherry Shepherd, and Sherry Shepherd's like, "I know, baby. I know she died." The police had already told Sherry Shepherd while she was holding up the bank that the baby was dead. So they walk out together, hand in hand, with their arms up to the police for her to be put into custody. I was in there crying actual real tears.
in the bed.
In the bed, watching this movie.
Because it's on Netflix. Watch it now.
Taraji, I'm gonna start with the big, and we're gonna
See,
go
this is
down
where I
to
can
the
jump
little.
back in since I didn't get to see the movie.
Can you get an Oscar for a Netflix movie?
Yes, absolutely.
Because baby, Taraji acted her ass off in this motherfucking movie. The level of emotion and connection to this character, the choices she makes are so unbelievably accurate and great. It just pulls you all the way in. I have not seen a performance like that in a really long time.
This may be a hot take to some, because sometimes people feel a certain way about Tyler Perry movies.
I was going to bring that up next.
And content. But when I see Tyler Perry and Taraji P in a movie together, and y'all may laugh, it gives Kugler and Jordan.
It really
I'm
is.
like, we're about to get a performance. I'm about to get a movie that moves me.
And they get they get each other. They capture moments really well together. Sherry Shepherd also phenomenal. Tiana Taylor was phenomenal.
Well, I love the fact that this sounds like a drama. I love the fact that Sherry Shepherd is in a drama, because I feel like a lot of the times we see her in
comedy
roles. Yeah, so I love that. I do want to. I literally wanted to watch it. I mean, I'm kind of bummed it got spoiled, but now knowing,
honestly, it was spoiled for me before I watched it, and I still enjoyed it because TikTok spoiled it for me. Not the point though.
Spoiler alert on TikTok.
Seriously, I will say this though. So the online discourse has been about Tyler Perry profiting off of Black women trauma.
Okay, now I've seen, like, it's like movie aside.
Yes. And just that this is not a movie I will watch again. For that reason.
Okay.
It was really hard to watch. And I'm not even a single mother. I'm not a mother at all, let alone single.
She's a mother, but not a mother.
Yeah. So, like, I still don't think it's something I could watch again. But I will say this. I think that the art was good enough to justify the content. Like, it wasn't trauma for the sake of trauma. I think this opens up a conversation when it comes to mental health in Black women in particular, when it comes to, what's the word I'm looking for? Financial inequality in our country, what it's like for these people to have to try to raise a child, especially a sick child with no help, no support, and the interactions with the police. I think it raises a lot of really important conversations, and I think it was done really well. They also filmed this movie in 4 days.
Is that true?
Yes.
Because I saw some of that, and I didn't know if it was true.
Yeah, that's what Tyler does.
Okay.
That is common for him. He will film an entire series in 2.5 weeks. His thing is like, you show up on set, off book, ready to work. There is no working out the material. You do that on your own time. When you show up to film this movie, we doing it. Okay. And we not doing 115 takes. He's a 1-2 take kind of guy, from what I've heard from the people who've worked for him.
Because the one thing I want to talk about is, I know there's like, I've heard the discourse around that with Black trauma, and especially with women. But I've read his book, Higher is Waiting, and I love Tyler Perry, and so like I've listened to his interviews and the stuff he does with Oprah and all these kind of things, and I know that he grew up in a lot of like horrible situations, dirt poor things, like real Cinderella story, and then there's also this thing about like write what you know. Do you think there's a line?
I think that the criticism is justified in that if you were writing what you knew, you would do it from a male perspective. And it's rarely from a male perspective. And I think it's easy for people on the outside who aren't affected by the content in the same way that we are to not get it. And like I said, and I don't even necessarily all the way agree. I just want to be clear. I think Tyler Perry does what he does super well. And like for me, the content in this particular movie and the art outweighs, you know, the trauma of it all. But I do think it's a fair argument. And like I said, I do wish that there was a little bit of equality in like the stories that he tells from a man's perspective, but that's just not how he likes to do his art. And who am I to tell him how to do that?
Well, and it begs the question too, and I'm not just defending him. I'm genuinely, we're just chatting.
Yeah.
Is he? You know, he's always said he was very inspired by his mother, his aunties, all these things, and so like, in a way, does he tell that he's like? Is he like, I want to tell their story? Because I feel like in the Tyler Perry movies that I've seen with women going through traumatic things, like there does seem to be a turnaround. But I've known in later movies and stuff, there's not always one, or he's expanding it, or he's not expanding it. He like is explaining the story in a different way. So I wonder, like, is in his head, is he like, no, this is like how I rectify the things that happen to them? But as a black woman, you're like, I get that. Even if that was the case, are you like, that's still a lot? Like, not every story has to be that.
That's how I feel. But I will say he gave us like Think Like a Man and like other like stuff like that. But
the Battalion movie.
Yeah, but I do feel like, damn, can we just have like a happy movie?
Well, it begs me to say, I saw somebody comment like One of These Days.
Yeah. That's why people love that movie so much.
They're talking about a sequel.
Because it's not like, oh, Lord, now she done got dirt bow and ain't gonna be able to got a leg cut off. Like, it is just like, my
Not the
nigga,
leg.
like, can I have a happy movie? Can I just see, like, black women, like, thriving and, like, happy and, like, all of that? So I get it. And I think that the critique is justified.
Oh, yeah.
And if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. With that being said, the movie was phenomenal. The writing was great. The performances were spectacular. I give it a 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. What could give it that 10th star?
It was really sad.
Really?
Like, really sad.
You need like a dance number.
It was really very much sadder.
Yeah.
What about if you were watching it in your pajamas? Brand Daphne.
Thank you for that segue. Our girl. So yesterday, Paige DeSorbo released her new pajama line, Daphne.
How are we gonna go from talking about straw to pajamas?
He did the transition. I was just going with it.
From straw to pajamas.
Welcome to Rewind the Podcast.
Literally. I mean, well, at the beginning, we were talking about ice raids, and then we were like, Trump and Elon hate each other. Sometimes you just got to go.
But yeah, Paige DeSorbo she's had a big week.
Yeah.
She's leaving Summer House, which we're all devastated by.
I had to call out of work.
Shut up, Blake. But then she also, told us that she's releasing Daphne, which is her pajama line. I'm really excited for her. I think this is a good transition for her. Honestly, it's like, I think she's outgrown Summer House. And it sounds like there is no confirmation of some type of spinoff, but it sounds like she's open to that. So hopefully that's the direction we're heading in, and we will continue to see Paige DeSorbo on our televisions.
From TV to pajamas.
Yeah.
Empires.
Yeah.
Can I be controversial yet brave? Can I be vulnerable in this moment in the pod today?
Sure.
I told myself the other day, after I watched the part 2 finale, which I'm sure we're going to talk about, that I wanted to watch, y'all have been telling me the whole time, I want to watch Summer House. I know y'all say start at season 3. I want to start at season 1.
Ugh.
I just do, okay? I'm going to commit. My thing is, I do enjoy Paige DeSorbo. I just bought the book. I'm going to read it between her and Hannah. Hello. But this season specifically, I would watch sometimes and go, I don't really get it with why y'all adore her so much. I mean that respectfully.
Because you literally planted yourself in.
That's what I'm saying. I watched Blake and Raven be doing stuff on YouTube. I watched Hannah and Paige try new things, and I was like, this is a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. I've read a couple of chapters of this book, and I'm like, she's really funny. I've watched their podcast. I'm like, oh, I get it. This season specifically, I was like, I don't really know, but she was also going through a breakup.
Crippling anxiety as well.
Crippling anxiety.
Yeah.
And a lot of
Prepping
people
for
who love
World
Summer
Tour.
House say that this was just not that fierce of a season.
I agree. I think you have to see the totality of her to get it. But also, like, I do love Paige on Summer House. I really do. I think she's so funny. But I love Paige on Giggly Squad. Mm-hmm. So it's like you have these different avenues of like different sides of her personality. Mm-hmm. I think she's outgrown Summer House for sure. I think it's wise for her to move on and do something better, especially because her schedule's probably like insanity to like just be trapped in the house with these people for 6 to 8 weeks. It's too much.
Go back every weekend.
It's like too much. Mm-hmm. So like I'm really happy for her. I think once you get more familiar with her personality outside of just this one season, I think you will enjoy her.
Yeah, because I think outside of, like I said, on everything else, I'm like, oh, I enjoy her. Mm-hmm. But this specifically, I was like, if this was my base, I don't know if I would have been like, I want to look at the book. I want to look at the pod.
Yeah.
I'm glad I have you two to let me know her blood type. So.
Yeah, for sure.
It's because Lip Liner Lexi took over the whole season.
She did, and she's gone.
And
now.
she's out.
She's not returning either. You know who else doesn't need to return? Gabby.
Yeah, Danielle. All of them can go. But my thing is, who's going to be on the show?
So this is the tea. Okay, so I did some tea. I did some research. I have from a very trusted source, a person who likes Bravo, that they are kind of going to rehaul the cast and do like influencers. I don't like that. Oh.
Hello, my name's Raven Dawson. I live in Nashville, Tennessee, and I have a podcast called Rewind the Podcast. Don't worry about him. I would be a great extra addition on Summer House because I'm fun, I'm flirty, and I love to party. Call me. You can find me on all social media platforms at I am Raven Dawson.
Hi.
And you don't have any gay representation since...
No, no one's asked you. No one asked you. It's just me. It's just me on the show. Continue on.
So the Summer House finale, I watched part 2.
Mm-hmm.
Again, like I said, and I'll stand on it, and some of y'all love her, and that's great. Get Gabby off of there. It's making fun of Carl's teeth like that.
That pissed me off.
And then they win it, and you know, if like you always say, well, we always say, if you can say it with your chest.
Yes.
And then Andy Cohen was like, so did you mean that? She's like, no, I was like defending my girl. Weak. I would have been like, nah, you got some big Tic Tac teeth.
My thing is like,
you don't, baby.
No. My thing is, for the entire season, we listened to people bash Paige, Amanda, and Sierra for being like mean girls. And here she goes literally actively being a mean girl. Mm-hmm. Like, that was so uncalled for to say about him.
It really was.
It was rude.
Also, for her to say that Carl brought nothing to the season... Gabby, you said 5 words, and one of them was to shut up to Wes.
Exactly. I'm glad they called her on it. It seems like he forgives her, which is really nice, but that looked like it really hurt his feelings, and I really did not like that. I didn't like it at all. I will say this. Okay, so CMA Fest was this week in Nashville, Tennessee, and we all discussed if we wanted to go or not, and we were like, it's going to be hot. We're not going to do that. Guess who showed up? I know. Guess who went to the same bar as us? Were they there the night before? They were there the same night. They left the next day. We left early. How did we not see them? Because there was 1,000 people there. Like, because I'm like, I walked around that whole bar, and I would have seen them. Well, maybe not. I don't know. We're talking about Jesse and Wes. They were there supporting, what's that water called? Like Sparkle Charm or something like that? Yeah, I don't maybe know the math. I don't think it's called Sparkle Charm. But they were at Red Door. So we went to see you in Ranch Hands. Ranch Hands Cowboy Lesk. I'm there every Friday and Saturday night at Blake Rackley. Which was so much fun. And then we were like, okay, we're gonna go out after. We go to Red Door. It was packed. No one was smoking. It was packed out. There were so many people there. There was a lot of kids there, but I feel like it was like a very mixed crowd that night. It was a lot of youths. It was a lot of youths, but I felt like I talked to several older people as well. And then we got on Instagram the next day, not at the same bar as us. And then we were looking for them. Every time we saw a tall motherfucker, we were like, Jesse? Yeah. So Jesse and Wes, next time you're in Nashville, hit us up. We will also show you a good time. I'm sure you have friends here already, but whatever.
I knew you were coming to Ranch Hands, and I unashamedly messaged both of them and said, you should come to Ranch. 2 straight men coming to the Ranch Hands Cowboy Les. I said, you should come to Ranch Hands.
They actually would love it.
They probably, can you imagine the gag, though? Because they would have been in the comp section with y'all.
Oh, the way I would have not paid you no mind on that stage, I would have been...
You would have been like...
Ponying.
You like what you see? What's that song that the lady from Little Girl, Big World sang? Or Little Atlanta? When she was like, yo, you know what I'm talking about,
I
though?
don't.
Oh, damn. Okay.
I didn't watch that.
Okay. Well, Summer House is there, and I guess they're going to have influencers and Raven on the show next.
Wait, I'm
And
an influencer.
When was the last time you posted on Instagram?
Okay,
or
I get in
TikTok?
trouble for not posting on my personal socials.
Do you want to know what's going on with Raven in her life? Comment below.
That's funny.
Do you think I should pull back? Comment below. I do want to say, you did. Okay, what's on your For You page? Me! I'm on her For You
Seriously.
page.
So this week, I love my friends. I think y'all are fabulous. Because I know you in real life, like, I don't really be looking at y'all Instagrams like that. I ain't gonna hold you.
It's always the friends you have to worry about.
I'm not liking stuff. Like, I scroll past it respectfully, unless it's about me. Or I'm tagged.
You can name 3 of my original songs. I'll give you $20 right now.
Famous Nobodies. That one about when you like that person and you were like, we'll like each, like.
When you like that person?
No, it's like, I can tell you the content, but I don't know the name of it.
It doesn't sound like you're winning on the content either.
It's like, I like you, but like, I'm glad I liked you because like, you like showed me what love is. You know what I'm talking about? You do for real know what I'm talking about?
Sure.
What's it called?
You're not getting $20. I still think about you.
Yes, I was, see? I told you. I don't know no more.
Which you can listen to on Spotify under Rapley at
something about
Rapley.
like a partly.
You look so good in love.
You just looked it up.
No,
Yes, you
those are,
did.
yes, he did, because those are covers. That is a George Strait cover.
Okay, sorry. Back to what I was saying.
Back to Raven.
I was like, oh, I'm gonna like look at Blake's Instagram because I was like at home not doing anything. Not me in bed belly laughing at your content. You are so funny.
And I won't apologize for it.
I was like, wait, I called him and I was like, wait, not me commenting on stuff from you from like 12 weeks ago. Because I'd
Literally.
never seen it before.
She goes, you're really funny. And I was like, yeah.
No, I
Except
really
for when I
enjoyed
am
it.
really funny, she goes, you are so dumb. She can never just say, that was really funny and I appreciate that.
Because I rarely feel that way.
I know. Last week, you were really into me. And as of this week, I don't feel like it. So, you know. So I'm funny, and I thank you for acknowledging that.
You're welcome.
That's really nice. So I want to tell you what's been on my For You page.
Please
Last little
do.
thing. First of all, Sabrina, Addison, and Cynthia all released music. Let me tell you what.
I'm
That's
really
Cynthia.
sorry.
It's okay. Am I boring you?
No.
I think I actually am.
I've literally slept for 5 minutes. Give me a second to get my
Okay,
eyelashes
good.
together. Serena, Cynthia, and Ariana, whoever.
Addison Rae.
Oh.
Addison Rae is my new favorite pop girly. You don't feel the same way.
I just thought about something, but go ahead.
Okay. Sabrina released a new song. She needs to quit writing with Jack Antonoff, and I'm going to stand on that.
Why?
Because I'm not into the Jackization. I grew up with it as a Max Martin girly, gay.
What you not gonna do is talk ugly about Cantaloupe.
Why? Because
That's
he gave
our
you
friend.
They Not Like Us?
Yes, that is our friend.
A broken clock can be right twice a day. Twice a day?
Twice a day. That's what you get. Leave
Listen,
Cantaloupe alone.
No, he can definitely keep working with Kendrick because those were bangers. But I'm sorry,
I don't
all
like
the
this
pop.
song.
I don't either.
It's
Do
fine.
you know what it honestly gave? It felt like they were writing Please, 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 and this was like a first version.
Yeah.
And now that it's popular, they said, let's release this.
We should react to the music video. I've never seen that.
I haven't seen it either. I mean, I'd be down to react to it. The second thing I want to say.
I know what I was gonna say.
Okay, tell me.
No, you go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Addison Rae, there's a lot of stuff on her. I think her album is actually amazing. If you want like pop fluff, I know that's sugar cane, sweet tooth for you, glass bottle Coke, but give it a chance.
Okay.
She has a song on there called "I Love New York," and the chorus is literally "I love New York, I love New York, I love New York, I feel so free, I feel so free."
No.
And I said, "Where was this?"
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
No, because that one's not good. I love New York. I was like, where was this 3 weeks ago? I would have been getting on everybody's nerves. You
More
would
than
have
you
gone
already
home
were?
early. Yes. And I know that was meant to be funny, but yes, I
Okay.
agree with the joke. Cynthia's record. It is giving what Dead Poets Society by Taylor Smith thought it was given.
Bruh, first of all, this is what I want to talk about.
Tell me about it.
My homie, the homeboy, Terrell, she was on Terrell Grace Blue wall. Mm-hmm. Not me in there crying.
Always.
Her.
Why do you say that like you don't expect to?
That's true. Her talking about putting this album together. Mm-hmm. I haven't listened yet because I need to be in like the right mind frame.
No, I will say I tried to listen to it right after Addison, and that was like licking a lollipop and then trying to like put your hand in water.
Yeah.
We all just did the dog. Sometimes they don't come together.
Like I'm on a journey, a transformation, and I'm like.
Is that why you're wearing blue and pink? Do you have something you want to tell us?
I'm not pregnant.
Oh, never mind.
Oh, okay. Oh, I get it. Because like trans, right?
Trans pride, yes.
Is this for trans?
Yes. There is no LGB without the T.
Yeah. Love y'all. I'm on a transition. I'm like on a journey right now, and I'm getting back into like doing some things that I used to do in the past creatively. And I feel like this is going to be a good album for me to like feel my feelings.
You should. I think you need to do it. I think you need, like, I'm not kidding. Do not disturb on.
Oh, 100%. Light a candle.
Light a candle. Turn
Glass
the lights
of wine.
down low. Yes, because it is. That's why I said, like, jokingly, but for real, like, Torture Poet, Dead Poet Society, all that kind of stuff. The big words and all that kind of stuff. It feels like that at first, but it's so eloquent and it
elevated.
It's elevated. That's what's up.
It's defying gravity.
Speaking of, for those who are watching us because you discovered our Wicked for Good trailer, hello. I don't cry every week. Popular opinion, unpopular opinion. I don't know. We're tired.
So tired. Cynthia, I'm really excited for that album. Mm-hmm. She was fantastic on Terrell's episode. It's 3 parts. It was a 3-part episode for her, which was, I mean, I could have listened more, but it was great. So go watch that. Mm-hmm. Last thing, since we're on this like thread of like important, deep, meaningful content, the QB Me and Me Part 2, has been green lighted for
the Noah Beck movie on
yes!
Tubi.
Okay, I ended up on the QB and Me TikTok last night. I love him. Adore him. I cannot wait for this second movie to come out.
This segment is sponsored by Rose.
Do y'all know? Don't do that. Do y'all know when it come out? Let me put it in the comments.
It doesn't sound like they've even filmed it yet.
I think they have because they've been hanging out a lot.
Maybe they're filming. Do you want to be in a cameo? Tubi.
No, not really.
Girl.
I'm tired. I have a lot going on. I have a lot coming up.
Hi, I'm Raven. If you want to put me and QB, the quarterback, and me, the quarterback's back on Tubi, you can find me at all socials that I am Raven Dawson. People trust me because my face is round. The last thing I want to talk about, Miley Cyrus.
Do I get to kiss Noah Beck if I'm in that?
Sure.
I'm 10 years older than him.
Mm-hmm. Baby girl.
Decade.
Last thing I want to talk about, Miley Cyrus.
That people piss me off.
That pissed me off. If you don't know what we're talking about, she did a, not a sip and see.
We are tired. Not a sip and see.
She basically did a
like an old white lady from Jackson.
Literally, I sang it one time. I sang, because it was at Christmas, I sang, It's a Wonderful, that one, and I cracked on Family, and that baby was like,
I thought you was going to sing, what's the one about Jesus being born?
Oh, what a wonderful child.
No.
I said, now Jesus, Jesus, Jesus.
Okay, go ahead.
That baby's not the savior. Okay. Miley Cyrus was doing a talk back, that kind of thing at the Tribeca Film Festival.
Heavy on the film.
Heavy on the film. FILM. And
you spell a lot.
I do. They need to know. Achille and the Bee, too. Hire me. And they were showing the film, and then they talked with Miley afterwards about the film. A talk back. And people, I guess, bought tickets to this thing thinking that just because it said something beautiful with Miley Cyrus, that she was going to get out there and do a whole concert. Whenever there is a show, people let you know that it is a show. She did a show here during Pride, right when everything started to open up, and it was very evident that it was a show. Mm-hmm. And there were people in this audience, don't be dumb, and people were up there, and they were like, when are you going to sing?
We paid $800 to be here. Why aren't you singing?
Sing something. And people around them were like, shut the up.
Let's talk about one thing. Miley's growth as a human being and an adult. Miley 5 years ago would have cussed them out.
Miley?
Bangers Miley would have cussed them out in that pretty dress up on that stage and called them everything of a child of God. She better than me though, because I wouldn't have sang a damn note.
No.
You ain't gonna dance monkey dance me.
No, this is not. I'm not Tones and I. We're not doing it.
And I'm not warmed up.
No. And well, what's fierce is she ended up singing The Climb, which respectfully, I love that song. You shouldn't have done it. I agree with you.
No.
Because people around, and apparently, allegedly, the lady who was screaming so much was so mad about it that she stormed off before she actually got to hear The Climb, which honestly, good. And I have something to say to you.
They should have escorted her out.
You're a dumb bitch.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was so dumb. I'm sorry. And people were like, well, it didn't say on StubHub what it was. And it was like, first of all, you go to the actual site and you figure out where something's happening. It's not hard to figure out what's going on. There was a Ticketmaster thing one time, and it said Kelly Clarkson is coming to town. I was so excited. I went and I looked at the tickets. It was like a night dedicated to a passed-along country singer whose name I do not recall at the moment, featuring a song by Kelly Clarkson. I said, oh, yeah, I don't want to go to that. It was 15 seconds of my life.
Google is free.
And so is Ticketmaster until you got to pay.
But the people who think that like they're entitled to something.
And you're just going to scream until you get it? You. It's hot. I'm tired. Let's go.
I don't do that. But yeah,
What are you talking
What are you talking about? Who we doing that? No, but that was not cool. But I think she handled it beautifully.
I think she did too, and she gave us a beautiful bar of The Climb.
Mm-hmm.
And respectfully, if you never tour again, I get why, because she said this is like half the reason. People scream at her like they want something from her. She feels like she has to almost like give a part of her soul away.
I agree.
That podcast she did had some tea in it, though.
What podcast?
She recently did a podcast. I don't know if it was the Zane Lowe one for Apple Music or something.
Oh,
but
I love those.
She talked about the craziness, I guess, of like bangers and dead poets or something like that, and how that's like when like Liam left her. And then she did Younger Now as like I'm like more cleaned up and educated now. Not educated, but you know what I mean? So he would stay. And then she said, I don't need that man.
Really?
Allegedly, yes.
Wait, I have to look that up.
You have to look that up, and then we'll listen to that. But I'm done. I'm tired.
Me too.
Do you want to talk about anything else?
No, I was actually talking to you like I forgot that this week.
Yeah, I was just gonna. I know, like we're trying to wrap it up, but yeah, it was really interesting. Okay, well, great. Our last episode of Blake and Raven Be Doing Stuff is out now. For now, that's all I'm gonna say. Am I right, you two?
Oh yeah.
And
okay.
Okay. With all that being said, thank you so much for listening to this episode of Rewind the Podcast. If you want to listen to other episodes of Rewind the Podcast, you can listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you like podcasts. We're not here to tell you what you like because you are a grown adult. But hey, guess what? Oh, that looks bad. But hey, guess what? If you want to watch the podcast and look at our beautiful faces, you can watch us on YouTube. Make sure you comment, subscribe, like, and sign up for alerts, and watch our Wicked for Good reaction trailer, which just came out last week, and some other stuff we've got coming down the pipe. With all that being said, sorry, Raven.
Like Blake said, if you listen to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, leave us 5 stars and a review. You can find me on all social media platforms at I Am Raven Dawson.
Gabe.
Oh, I'm good.
Wrap it up.
I am Blake. You can find me on social. I am chronically online. Ooh, I had to go back into the Great White Room.
Yeah.
And I am chronically online. You can find me anywhere there's a social media site at Blake Rackley. With all that being said, we'll see you
Next time. Toodles.
I like my name. So free.
Thanks for listening to Rewind the Podcast.
Rewind the Podcast is a Laurel Street production, hosted by Raven Dawson and Blake Rackley.
Rewind the Podcast is recorded in Nashville, Tennessee, and produced by Gabe Bryant.
Our theme song is Famous Nobodies, performed by Rackley.
Written by Blake Rackley and Matt Pingle, and produced by David Spencer.
To contact Rewind the Podcast about sponsorship, business inquiries, or just to say hey, please email thatrewindpodcast@gmail.com.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.